Walk through any gallery of classical Western art, and you will see human history carved in pale marble. It creates a quiet assumption that the builders of the ancient world looked exactly like this. Evolutionary biology reveals a more nuanced timeline. The pale skin tones associated with these statues are a recent development, emerging only within the final chapters of our species' existence. On the human timeline, dark, melanin-rich skin is the true ancestral baseline. Fair skin is a recent genetic mutation. For 290,000 years, everyone had medium to dark skin. Pale tones only became widespread within the last 10,000 years. To understand how global civilizations actually developed, we have to reset our biological baseline and look at the environments that shaped us. Homo sapiens evolved in Africa around 300,000 years ago. In these high-sun environments, ultraviolet radiation is intense and constant. To survive this, early humans relied on eumelanin, a dark pigment produced in the skin that absorbs and scatters harmful UV rays before they can destroy cellular DNA. This protective dark skin was a biological necessity. As human populations eventually migrated out of Africa and spread across the globe, they carried this ancestral trait with them. This is the fossilized skull of a man who lived in Mesolithic Britain exactly 10,000 years ago. When scientists extracted DNA from this specimen, known as Cheddar Man, they found the genetic markers for bright blue eyes and dark curly hair, but his genetic profile confirmed a dark to black skin tone. Even after humans had been living in Northern Europe for tens of thousands of years, pale skin still did not exist as the regional norm. The shift occurred due to a specific environmental crisis. In the high latitudes of Northern Europe, the climate is cloudy and dark for much of the year, creating a sunlight deficit. While dark skin blocks UV radiation, human bodies need a small amount of that radiation to produce vitamin D. As early populations in these dark regions shifted to farming diets low in vitamin D, they faced a severe health bottleneck. Evolution responded through a specific mutation in the SLC24A5 gene. This variant suppressed melanin production, resulting in skin light enough to absorb every possible drop of scarce sunlight. As Neolithic farmers expanded through Europe, this gene spread with them. However, it remained highly localized, restricted largely to the low UV zones of West Eurasia. Pale skin is a latitude-specific adaptation to sunlight starvation. It is a biological response to geography, rather than a separate category of human. When we look at the emergence of complex civilizations between 3,500 and 5,500 years ago, we see them rising in high UV subtropical zones. The builders of ancient Egypt lived in a climate requiring high melanin levels. Their artwork reflects this, depicting figures with rich, reddish-brown skin tones. We see the same pattern in the Americas. This colossal stone head from the Olmec civilization reflects the features of a population with the copper and brown skin tones typical of that latitude. In early Mesopotamia, the Sumerians built massive mud brick cigarettes in an environment populated by people with medium brown complexions. Foundational developments like writing, administration, and monumental architecture emerged in these high sun regions long before the genetic mutation for pale skin had even stabilized in the north. We can verify this global baseline through the primary source documents left behind by early European explorers. In 1492, Christopher Columbus described the indigenous peoples of the Caribbean as copper-colored and neither black nor white, explicitly comparing them to the medium-toned populations of the Canary Islands. In 1770, James Cook recorded encounters with Aboriginal Australians, describing their skin as the color of wood soot or dark chocolate. Across every continent, these explorers documented a world of medium to dark complexions, confirming that pale skin was a geographic outlier on a global scale. Dark skin is the biological heritage shared by every branch of the human family tree. Pale skin is a specific, latitude-based response to a lack of sunlight, an outlier in a species that spent 97% of its history under a tropical sun.